Well, it's Monday night, and we are in the basement. The Wiener Dogs are in the house, studio audience. And my friends Dustin Edwards and Aly Price are in the house. And we have some big news to break on the show.
Breaking news.
If you haven't seen the news yet, you probably haven't seen the news because it's not like it's on social media.
No.
Like nobody's probably seen it yet.
And we've held off on any press interviews.
This is worldwide, global first.
We're saving it for this platform.
You can hear it here first. It's podcast love.
Love is in the air.
Love is in the air. And what Preston called it? Is that what he said? Go ahead, Aly. You got to talk in the mic.
She's got stage fright here.
Stage fright?
She wanted a grand introduction. She wasn't speaking till she got introduced.
Oh, that was
She
the
just
funny
boned
bone. That was
herself.
the funny bone. Anyways, go ahead, Aly. What do you got?
Nothing much to say currently.
And she has just went to her podcast voice.
Yeah.
I don't have my own mic, so
Well, we got to share. I'm sorry. But you guys can share now because why?
I'm a fiance.
What started on what day?
What do you mean?
February.
Fiance day?
No.
Oh,
It started.
February 3rd. Podcast Bachelor Podcast 1.
Yeah.
Aly was a contestant. For those of you that have followed along on this journey,
Yeah.
some 4.5 years ago.
4.5 years ago. A while ago. Sorry.
And now love is in the air.
Love is really in the air. It's legitimately in the air.
And
It's official.
we're getting hitched.
You guys are getting married.
So Ted, on behalf of myself and my future bride-to-be, we'd like to thank you for giving us the platform for love.
To find love.
And it's beautiful. So I know a lot of people have been listening. We talked about having some episodes where maybe I did the proposal on the show.
Yeah. I thought that would have been cool.
That was a thing at one time. That was discussed.
Aly, what do you think? Would you have, what would your response have been if you would have been, if Dustin would have proposed to you on the show? Like, would you have said yes still or no?
It would have probably been similar response to the one I had in the reality of the engagement, which was that I thought he was joking and that I thought he was just pulling a prank. So yeah, I mean, it probably would have been pretty on par with how it went down.
I had the ring out and she said, what'd you say? Is that a leaf in your hand or a twig?
Yeah.
She was not buying it.
In my defense, after when we called your mom, she also wasn't buying it and thought we were joking.
I have been a prankster about these things in the past, so. But yeah, we couldn't have done it without the Cowboy Shit podcast.
The Bachelor, episode 32. And so if we're doing 25 shows a year, that was in season 2.
That's a long time ago. And then
Holy.
we had a reunion on the second Bachelor.
Yeah, which would have been 70-something. Where are we at? Kidnapped in Istanbul. What do we got? 30, so 50-something. So it would have been... Oh, The Bachelor season 2, 58.
And
Episode
then,
58.
And then our third appearance was on The Bachelorette.
Yes.
With
and that was
with Cass Haas.
Cassie, and that was this past winter. Because we missed a couple Bachelors because of what do you call it?
Well, not being bachelors.
No, in the pandemic too.
the pandemic. It was hard to love in the pandemic.
The Bachelorette was 136. So this is 134. So holy, so it was 102 episodes ago.
So
Which
people-
is essentially 4.5 years.
So people have been part of this journey on this very
wild.
podcast, so we thought it was only fitting that
You've saved the announcement for
we
here.
save the announcement for here. So those of you that were cheering us on since that early episode,
Yeah.
looks like we made it. So far.
So far.
So when you guys getting married?
We're going to have the wedding on the podcast live in the basement with the Wiener Dogs as our ring bearers.
Storm wants to have the wedding in the backyard, so we could just do... You know what we could do is
Wedding?
just... Pardon?
Joint wedding.
Yeah, just do a double wedding. It'll be cheaper, won't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of the same people. We just have like a bigger head table and just whatever.
do her.
It's fun. Just get a big hall. Like, we can probably do the wedding at Barney's. Like, you got space.
We got all the space in the world.
Yeah, you got event space.
Yeah, we're just going through our Reverend selection right now.
Yeah.
We've got it narrowed down.
Good candidate.
Yeah.
It's probably a rodeo announcer, if I'm guessing.
We haven't talked to him yet, but
You're gonna ask somebody?
we're hoping on a hoo-ha after we
On
say
hoo-ha.
I do.
Yeah.
If there's no hoo-ha after the kiss, I'm out.
So Dave Polson, if you haven't heard yet,
Dave, if you haven't listened, please get ordained in the next 12 months.
My mom actually did that this year. She married our neighbors. So Corey and Aaron. So Corey was a couple years younger than us, but we went to their house, like him and his mom and dad, and like we're all family friends for a long time. They were like probably 2.5 miles from where we grew up. But yeah, mom got ordained for the day. Like she got the JP papers so that she could do their wedding. So she did that this summer.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I think now, like, it used to be like a big, you had to get like a big,
You can do it online now.
yeah, big process. But now you can like get ordained for one day.
For one day, yeah.
Yeah, because I think what happened was they were, like, a JP had to service a whole area and they just couldn't keep up to the demand of like.
Yeah, no chance.
So, yeah, so Dave, if you're listening,
We'll call you before this.
we'll call you.
We got 2 days.
We got to yeah, chat contract and rodeo schedule.
Yeah, and pay. You know, you got
And
to make
pay.
sure that the cabbage is there.
Yeah, the cabbage is there. So
Dave doesn't marry for free.
no, he does not. And I expect him to bring the enthusiasm and a 4-colored pen to the ceremony.
I would imagine so. Do you think you'll both get a 4-colored pen when you get married?
I would think that would be
Which
the wedding
color are you
gift.
going to sign in when you sign the
Oh,
paperwork?
we have to sign the certificate in 4-colored pen.
Yeah.
Do you have to sign it in a certain color?
Not red. Red is angry ink.
Or is it the loving?
I'm signing it in green.
Green's
color.
fine.
Yeah,
Green is fine. Red is angry.
because Aly has green eyes.
Oh,
Maybe.
Do you?
yeah, they're green on a purple eyeshadow day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what this really does, this brings that Bachelor episode almost full circle and complete.
Yeah,
It
so-
almost wraps it all up.
So tell me, like looking back to that day, and like, because I don't know if we probably talked about this a little bit, but now you guys are engaged, so it's like it's real. But sorry, Ellie's got an itchy butt. Just getting her little butt itch.
Aly.
Aly, yeah,
Oh yeah,
not to be
Ellie,
confused.
not Aly, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
There's no video of this show. Sorry, folks. But anyways, going back to episode 32. It's February 2019. Aly, you are out of a pretty long-term relationship in the last year or two or something. I forget right now.
Like
Are you
2 years?
2 years?
Yeah.
So, Dustin, you're not in many relationships at the time.
Just a couple.
Just a couple.
I'm
like-
just bouncing.
You're bouncing, like you're trying
Yeah.
to find your way. The in that same time period, actually, you and I go on like this hockey trip, and you drink so much. The one time that you like basically gave up drinking, like pretty much
After
cold
that,
turkey
yeah.
after that.
We haven't really drank
The
much.
ulcers
Yeah.
got the
Got the stomach
got the
ulcers.
ulcers from the Long Islands,
Yeah,
and that's when
you kind of like change your you kind of change things up a little bit, because that was like
yeah
you were in Drumheller,
yeah.
and then that was the start of Barney's, maybe
No, that's still a couple years removed.
before
Before
Barney's?
that, yeah,
Dragon's
it
Year
was
too.
yeah. So it was more of
you-
a
But previously though, you had like skipped out on Ember.
Yep.
Not skipped out, but just like finished, wrap things up with Ember, and go to
went to Drumheller,
Drumheller.
but I was still in like that. You know, it was like
early 30s.
yeah, I was
party
doing
phase.
whatever, right? And then after that, you know, you and me kind of had that. There was like that kind of moment.
Heart
We had a heart to heart one night in
Heart-to-heart Saturday in
Vermeer, British
Vermeer.
Columbia,
Yeah.
and a few months later, well, not that long later, we were Aly moved down to Drumheller, and
Really? It just went from like first date, bam, moved in.
well, not that quick, but it was the start of the process, I guess you could say. So,
But okay, how long was it from the Bachelor show? Because that was essentially the first interaction, was it not? Like,
yeah, I tried for a while,
Yeah.
Unsuccessfully,
Yeah.
and then the Dragons we were on a playoff run in Canmore, and Aly was nursing in Canmore,
And you were living out there too, right?
Living there, yeah. Living in Canmore.
and so I invited her to the. No,
Hockey game.
I didn't really invite her. I told her I was there, and then she just posted randomly on her Instagram story, which I obviously had checked out.
You've been
That she
cre-
was
you
at
were
the rink,
creeping.
you know, 100 feet from where I was doing the broadcasting.
Oh.
And then
Was that premeditated, Aly?
Yeah. Well, Dustin always checked my stories pretty quickly. I must have popped up on his feed.
Were you subscribed to
first.
her stories?
Must have been.
must have been.
And I knew
The algorithm knew.
he invited me to a few games, and I wasn't really.
You're like, I don't
I
really
was
like
in
hockey.
that, like, you know, that this is what they all say. It's like you're in that good place. You're happy with where you're at. You're not really looking for anything. And then when Dustin was, you know, pursuing me, I was just not really.
Not interested.
I was interested in him, but I
not a
wasn't
relationship.
interested in like, getting into a relationship, but he was very persistent. I'm like, you know what? This might be a good thing. And so I went to a game one night, just took a little Instagram story of me being there, and he's like, oh, don't be a stranger. But then...
And then we went on a date to, what was our first date? What was that place called? National
National and 4th.
Is that the bowling?
On 10th. Here in
10th.
Calgary, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we did that.
You were doing
And then-
days.
Yeah, we were Aggie days. And
Oh,
then,
so this is April. This is 2 months later.
Yeah, and then Aly came down to Dragon's spring camp.
Okay.
We had hockey camp down there.
Oh, boy.
So
What
what
is this? What is spring camp? And where is it?
It's in Drumheller, so it's the rookies and the prospects for the Dragons. So this kind of parlays into my story with Ted. Was I had that moment with you where it was like, oh, I need to get off the bottle here. I'm getting a little crazy. And Aly
He wasn't that crazy, don't worry.
wasn't that crazy. Aly came down to Drumheller
He was just a little Jiminy
and got
kibbled.
mixed up with we all went out with the scouts, and this was like her first time drinking around me, and I was off the booze that night,
Oh.
To defend myself.
and Aly was hard on the booze.
I need to defend myself.
But that was your moment.
Oh, yeah. That was definitely my moment. But if there's girls listening, they can relate. It's like when you're going on a date and you're kind of nervous, you don't want to eat too much, you want a little tummy ache, and you want to feel skinny, the whole thing. So all day I didn't eat anything because I was going on
It's
this
a bad
date.
idea.
And then I go, and instead of meeting Dustin and him taking me out for dinner, he says, jump in my vehicle. I got to go pick up, who is now one of our really good friends, got to go pick up this guy from a party. So we go to this house party, and I'm trying to be Miss Cool Girl, third date. And so his friend,
What did you wear?
I was just wearing like jeans and a, I don't know, t-shirt.
We
Probably.
were in a trailer park.
We were in a trailer park at like a 20-year-old's birthday party or something.
One of the hockey player kids?
No,
No,
just some
girl.
random. I didn't even know this person.
No, we
Oh,
didn't
really?
know. And so we get there, and then the friend is drunk, and he's like, oh, let's do shots. I'm like, okay, like, cool girl, just go with the flow. So I was doing shots, and then we left there. Don't really remember. This is probably the drunkest I've been. And then we went to Boston Pizza finally for food, and all the scouts were there. Again, one girl amongst 8 guys, and I'm like, I want to be, I'm cool girl. So like triple shots, triple rye and Cokes later.
Oh, no.
Don't remember much. And then the next morning, I just remember waking up, and I was going for brunch with my girlfriends that day in Calgary. But I remember just like being sick to my stomach that I ruined it.
No.
I was like, I ruined it.
Oh, no.
But at that moment, I remembered that only weeks previous to that, there was Snapchats of me singing Shaggy in Invermere, totally blitzed, wearing prescription glasses that I did not need.
True.
And
So yeah,
we kind of had a common bond on that. And then that spring, the love formed, Ted.
Well, so what happened between like February though and April? There's like 2 months there. There's a little bit of time there that I'm kind of wondering what happened.
well,
We were chatting quite a bit still.
I would love a poll on this. I'd love a poll on this if we could do a poll.
Yeah, we can probably do a poll.
But Dustin, the next day after the pod, follows me on Facebook, follows me on Instagram, the whole 9 yards. We didn't
Yeah.
have each other's phone numbers.
Yeah. And
So-
neither of you asked me for each other's phone numbers.
No. And so then, whatever, we would like message the odd thing on Instagram. And then one night we talked a bit more, like kind of had a little thread going. And he says, I said, here's my number if you want to text me. So then he texts me, but he just texts the word Dustin. That's it.
Need I say more?
So I didn't reply because I'm like,
So here's the poll. If someone texts you their name, that's a replyable text, is it not?
I would.
Do you reply back?
I mean,
She
or
says that's not, you don't reply back to someone's name.
well, but
For those listening,
I
at home.
think that you could have done better, Dustin. Just saying, like
thank you.
first text,
I agree.
like
But then
because
I
that-
thought, well,
like-
maybe she doesn't want to reply to my
But
name.
why not? Hey, it's Dustin.
or why not? Ooh, is this getting serious now that we're moving to text message? Do you want to call me and have a conference call?
Exactly.
Do you want to call me sometime?
Okay,
let's-
to get.
listeners,
Here's my number if you want to call me and ask me out for a real date,
Exactly.
Dustin.
So those
Don't just
listening at
text me your
home, if you'd
number.
like to write in
Your
to the
name.
show, we're at
Info at.
Box 107,
No, but for real, send us a note on social media.
Yeah,
or
let us know.
Or
Let
send
us
us an
know.
email to hello@cowboyshit.ca.
Yeah.
And we can put out a poll on social media.
Let's find out.
Let's put out a poll.
Do a
Is
poll.
sending someone your name
And that's
to their number for the first time enough to get a expected reply back? I thought I should. Aly thought not. But hey, that's okay. We'd love to hear your feedback.
So how long did it take till you text him back? Or did you just talk to him?
It was then it was on Snapchat.
It's still on
we never
Snapchat.
had Snapchat. No. So then we continued communicating on Instagram just through stories because I was being firm.
You're being hard to get.
I was being firm.
I invited you. I invited her out. I was pretty busy with hockey at that time. Yeah, playoffs was on.
In April. Okay.
And then we had all those games in Canmore and Banff, so we stayed there like back-to-back weekends. I had a conference in Banff the one weekend, and you were gonna come, and then it was like a blizzard, and the highway was shut down. So
And I worked till
yeah,
7:30.
but it was almost like a perfect scenario how it ended up with like me and Ted in Invermere that week, and then coming back home, and we had Aggie days, and you came down to Drumheller. And then we ended up having hockey finished right then, and we were all starting to get back rodeoing.
I was just moving back to Hannah because my position in Canmore was up.
And Aly got a job in Drumheller nursing, and so we were blazing away. And then we got our first year under our belt before COVID hit, so it was probably pretty good timing, really.
Oh, I guess so, because
You know?
the whole COVID shenanigans was a bit of a schmozzle there for a while.
Yeah, so we were holed up, and Aly, I went from like having basically no job with sports shutting down in rodeo,
Yeah.
and Aly was nursing nonstop during COVID.
Yeah.
So it was like we got our first year together of like we're at every rodeo and every sporting event and hockey, and then we had our year 2 of like the two of us, like
Hanging out at
hanging
home.
out and hanging out at home, and then
What'd you guys do during COVID? Is that when you started Barney's?
No, I went back to working in the oil field. Aly was nursing a ton.
Where'd you go?
Back. We moved back to the Big Valley acreage, and we did
Oh,
a ton of work out there, like new.
Yeah, and
Oh,
then
because you still owned it then.
yeah, and then that was our summer. Remember, we were going to the lakes. We were boating. We were doing lots of cool stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, that even though it was an awful year with the lockdown, I just felt like we spent so much time with the people we normally don't see, like our little rodeo Pine Lake crew, and we went to the lake with our families lots, and
We were 6 feet apart, but we were with them.
right,
Yeah,
exactly.
if anybody asks.
Yeah.
If anyone asks.
Okay.
And then
Sidebar. What do you guys think of more COVID shots? I feel like I'm done with the needles.
I don't know.
As someone in
man.
the healthcare industry, Aly, what are your thoughts?
I think you just have to do what lets you sleep well at night.
Okay. I think I'm
That's a
done.
political answer.
I think I'm done with
Yeah.
that.
I
I got 2, and I think that was too many.
yeah.
Anyways.
I've had 6, and they haven't affected me.
I'm fine now. I heard a guy talking about him in the drugstore the other day. He's like, yeah, I have a little bit of a mix mash of this and that. And he's like, you get this and that. I'm like, why the fuck is it even still a thing? Who's still testing for this shit?
It's people are.
But people are in the hospital now, though, so I get that, like,
Yeah.
okay.
But it's also flu season.
Yeah, that too. Anyways, so
love is in the air.
love is in the air.
We
As our friend Preston Sear would say, love is in the air.
love is in the air, and
It's actually Sire, so it's Preston Sire.
Preston Sire,
I always say his name wrong.
and we made it through.
Made it through COVID. So
made
you
it
made
through
it through anything.
COVID. We made it through starting up 2 businesses at the same time without
Same
killing
month.
each other.
Same exact month. We basically, we moved out of the Big Valley acreage. So when Dustin and I met, I ended up moving in with him in Drumheller. And then we moved to a town close to Drumheller called Rosedale. Then we moved to Big Valley to do that during COVID. Then we just ended up living in a trailer at Barney's
For the
for a
summer
while.
while you're building it.
till the pipes froze.
Oh, no, the pipes froze?
And then
Did they freeze or did they, like...
they froze
did
and thawed.
They didn't blow up,
No.
though?
No, like they froze.
It just was like, okay, we gotta get out of here.
It's October. It's time.
It was October 1st.
I was showering at the local hotel.
What?
Yeah,
Where?
Because
Like Canalto, like at the
Yeah.
hotel?
yeah, because they said you can use the gym and the hot tub. So I'd go and use the gym every morning, and I'd shower there,
Really?
get ready at the store in the salon.
Oh, jeez.
So we've been through a lot of like really good things, but
Kinda
very like
rodeoing.
stressful things.
Yeah.
And I say that if we can get through a epidemic.
Oh no, it's a
and
pandemic.
A pandemic, yeah.
Yeah.
A pandemic, business startups, moving six times now.
times.
So we moved to another place again currently. And yeah.
Here we are.
I think we're doing okay.
We got a ring on the finger,
Yeah, ring on the
and
finger.
and podcast number 200 could potentially be the wedding episode.
That's true. That's not too far off.
We probably will do a pod from the wedding.
Well, I would think so.
Yeah.
Even if we just are all like, nah, we probably won't. Let's just say we don't.
Enjoy the day.
Let's enjoy the day. Sorry, we even have to do this tonight, but
We wanted.
Thanks for saving the news for the show.
We wanted
Thanks for
to.
saving the official announcement for the podcast.
Yeah.
And the official first interview with the happy engaged couple.
This is the first interview.
The price was right.
Yeah.
Free. Which part? What's free now, man?
Announcing on the pod. Like, if you like
Oh,
announce
that's
to
true.
like
Yeah.
People Magazine or some sort of entertainment.
Yeah.
I
We-
think that's where Storm just was. I think that's a waterfall in Iceland.
That's cool.
I'm pretty sure.
Chasing
I'm pretty
waterfalls.
sure that's actually the she just sent me a picture. They were just there.
There's that lookout.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's legit.
That's
Anyways, okay, sorry about the distraction. But going back, I want to go back to the podcast though, because that was totally a setup at the time. Like, it was not like a real
Real. I wasn't
You were not-
actually abiding for Wasey's love.
Yeah, you weren't actually legitimately that
Breaking.
interested in Wasey.
Breaking news.
In
I was-
Wasey.
we
No
were-
offense to Wasey.
No, we just had a plan because Wasey was interested in the one girl.
Yeah,
So
Abby at the
we-
time, I think.
We
the one.
asked girls that were friends with Wasey that wouldn't be heartbroken if they weren't picked.
Yeah.
Which was me and Cassie and Louisa.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what wasn't rigged was me trying to sabotage and get some love, as Keenan
Because
said.
how many of us
Keenan
was
said,
there?
Keenan said he texted and said he knew. He knew from that day.
I don't know if he did. He's probably just lying. He's probably just saying that.
Yeah.
Keenan, I'm calling your bullshit. Anybody can say after the fact that they saw it,
That's true.
right?
Yeah.
That's true.
I didn't know. I didn't even know it was that legit that day. Like, because I was kind of like focused on like trying to get a show out of it. Like,
I thought it was a total gimmick. Like
it was a total gimmick. Like the whole thing.
people were drinking.
Yeah.
It was.
We were just fucking around.
It was a total mockery of the show, The Bachelor,
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
and there was like a fake application process, right?
Yeah, but we kind of scammed that first one. Just
But
as like,
it did get legitimate as it went on.
yeah, it totally did.
Second
Yeah.
one had full applications.
Yeah.
We all went through.
And I remember on the Bachelorette podcast with Cass Hossauer, we vetted and like interviewed
went through 'em
people.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a real thing.
We did some Zoom meetings leading up to that. Even
We did. So it got better as we.
The evolution changed a lot from that Super Bowl Sunday, and
It was a fun. You know what the good. Like, it's funny that it's funny to me that you guys got together. Like, it just because I thought that you would have both known each other already, and there would have already been like a connection. But like, it was kind of like two different circles, like the Venn diagram, like two different circles that were kind of like I knew Aly from over here and I knew Dustin over here, and I thought that there was some overlap, but they're just like. There never was that overlap, right,
No.
Aly?
No, never the overlap. Always knew of you. You'd pop up on my people you should know on
Oh, really?
Facebook. But yeah, never had the intro.
but at 4620,
Where all your dreams can
circles
come true.
divided. So if you think that you need to have a circle cross over another circle, just come here.
But
do
going back to that though, like what were you thinking, Dustin? Like was there some interest, like some real genuine interest? You're like, hey, this Aly, she's hot. I don't know her, but I've seen her in person. Like,
Yeah.
dang, like what's the deal here, Ted?
Well, there was a picture of you and me and Cass sitting on a chair.
Yeah.
And I was sitting kind of behind you up on like the armrest or something.
I was sitting on the armrest. Cass was sitting like by your feet, kind of, and you were sitting in the chair.
And it was kind of like a picture you kind of looked at and you're like, oh, there was some, we were sitting in those spots for a reason.
Well, also there was a lot of people here. There wasn't a ton of room.
But I still think it was, yeah. And I remember on The Bachelor 2, editor Sean Morton had pulled some file footage. Remember that from that episode?
Yeah, when you were faking.
I was faking cardiac arrest. So there was some hints.
Yeah, like you were trying right then.
I
Because Preston was not like Preston was already engaged or he was already engaged at that time.
Keenan married.
Keenan married.
You're
Yeah,
yeah.
wifed up.
I was only one other person on the mic
Lacey
that
was single.
Yeah,
But
so
he kind of already had a commitment
so
or
there
like
was
a plan.
there was some hard evidence in that show that showed that I was
But Cassie was single too. She didn't get the call.
no. That's a good point.
Yeah, right. So there were some single ladies, and Louisa, and I think Louisa's married now too, isn't she?
She's married, and who
Yeah.
else? Who else on the pod?
Cassie's
is-
not yet married.
Cassie's not married.
Lacey's married now.
Yeah, Lacey. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Lacey got
Lacey
married.
and Saul got married this summer.
Any of the I never did find out. Did any of the
Not sure
bachelors?
if Callie is married. I've seen lots of pictures of her on Instagram.
But they look unwed.
She does not look like she's in any formal
Did any of the guys that
relationships.
interviewed with Cassie?
No, that one's pretty fresh though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's not even a year.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was only from the winter.
yeah, that's a good point.
Anyways, but Aly, what about you? Like, what were your thoughts going into that day, or like at that show? Like, you said you were playing hard to get.
Not intentionally.
No, why not? Or what? Why do you mean not intentionally? I don't quite understand.
Well, here's what happened. I did think Dustin was cute. Hadn't met him. He had a good vibe. I like like a sports guy.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, hockey, rodeo, like these are the the sports I love. This could be cool.
Mm-hmm.
And like we had a good day. Like everyone was fun, and we were drinking and laughing, and everyone was like light.
Mimosas.
And you know what? I just had asked. I actually had asked a couple people what Dustin's deal was, and they told me that he was seeing someone.
Big hog. Like,
So, well, I don't know if I heard that, but
he's got a really nice guy, huge hammer.
We can or cannot confirm.
yeah, can or cannot confirm. But yeah, so I thought he was seeing someone, so I was like, that's respect.
Oh, you thought he was seeing someone at the time?
Yeah, I was told by a couple people that he was seeing someone,
Oh, really?
and so then I just kind of, left it at that. And
really?
But a side story is I almost didn't make it that day. Do you remember that?
this story has been shared.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember.
You can continue sharing it.
I went to a party that night before.
With the guy that I was with on the third.
Yeah, it was like a
third
housewarming party in Drumheller after
What?
a hockey game.
Wait, so Aly was on a date with
date.
somebody else?
No, on
No,
our
no.
third date, the guy
Oh.
who
Yeah.
got me liquored up.
Just some friends in Drumheller. We just went to a housewarming party, and I got totally bombed at it, and ended up staying at this house, and like woke up in the morning to like you guys like phoning me and texting me being like,
Oh,
"Where
no
are
Remember
shit.
he was so late.
you guys?" Were waiting for me, and I was like,
Oh, really?
I don't even think I'm gonna go.
Wait, and Aly was at the same party?
No, she was here.
We were waiting here for
Oh.
I was in Drumheller, and you guys were waiting for me, and I was to the point where I'm like, I'm not even gonna go.
Really?
Like I'm hung over.
oh, no.
I remember it was like cold. It wasn't nice. I'm like, I'm not even gonna go.
February in Alberta.
And you phoned me. You're like, man, get here. Like we're gonna wait for you. And I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not doing this stupid podcast. So
We did.
you know what? It's a good thing that I put the car in drive
Yeah,
because love was in the air. So
that's true. So we kind of got through that in the next little bit, but we didn't really talk about the engagement yet, about like how it went down, what the deal was. Dustin, like what was your plan? How did it happen? Because there was a couple different plans that were in the works. Because we talked about it before you left. You're
Yeah.
like, I don't think I'm going to do this. And then you get down there, and then shit all goes a little sideways.
well, I have to. Luckily, so we did it in Phoenix over Canadian Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Um,
Also known as Thursday to our American
as
friends.
Thursday. Yeah,
No,
it's
sorry,
Thursday,
that's wrong.
October.
That's actually Friday, but
Yeah.
still.
So we go down to Phoenix, fly in Thursday night. Ali's brother's playing hockey down
I
there.
was already
For-
down there.
For the
Arizona State.
There's
Arizona
ASU
State.
Sun Devils.
Yeah.
So
I was already there.
I'd got the ring purchased.
Where'd you get it?
Stetler, shout out to Mike Lawler's Jewelry.
Oh, I thought you were going to say shout out to Spence Diamonds.
Mike Lawler, a guy I
Cracker
went to
Jack?
high school with, and he custom built it. Great
Really?
job. Yeah. Beauty
It's
of a
a really
guy.
nice ring.
Yeah.
So, Aly, do you want to describe like what this is exactly?
This is a emerald cut diamond in a, I don't know, simple band setting.
A nice little gold, like a nice little
A
gold
white
band?
gold, a white gold,
band.
white gold band.
Yep.
It's pretty much exactly what I dreamed of, so that's nice.
Really? How did Dustin know what to get?
Well, I think I mentioned it to you.
I had some saved Instagram posts that were sent to me.
Oh,
So, guys, if she sends it to you,
Save it.
screenshot it, save
save
it.
that shit.
You'll need it.
And then, of course, shout out to Casey Morton for
Oh, yeah.
we talk about
Friend of
that
the
stuff
show.
lots. Obviously, we sit through a lot of rodeos and we chat about all these things, and she was a good help as she knew what I was looking at and the terminology. And
Yeah, because I don't know what any of this
Yeah.
terminology. Storm
Yeah.
sent me a list, like specs on what it was, and I sent that to the people.
So luckily Aly flies down with her mom in advance of our engagement trip.
Yeah.
So I don't have to
just
worry-
a trip. It was just a
Yeah,
trip.
just a trip.
it was my brother's hockey home opener,
Oh,
so that's
yeah.
why we went down.
In the same rink as the Phoenix Coyotes.
Yeah,
The mullet.
they get to play in Mullet Arena, and it's pretty cool down there.
So now the hard part of like trying to sneak the ring down
Yeah.
in our luggage, like
In your
that's
underwear.
irrelevant because she
Without
flew
people
down
thinking
before
it's
me.
cocaine.
So I flew down with Aly's dad, and
When did you ask him if you could marry his daughter?
well, I had 2.5 hours on the flight to do it, and I chickened out.
You didn't do it on the flight?
No. So
Oh.
so we are literally getting there for puck drop. So we land at the
geez.
airport. We jump in a cab, and it's like 10 minutes from the airport to Mullet. And I'm like, I just got to do this. And I'm usually not nervous, and I was so nervous. So I was like, hey, Glenn, I pulled the ring out. I'm like, I brought something with me on this trip. And he's looking at me, and I open up the box, and he's like, whoa, good job. I was like, so are we good? He's like, yep. And he gave me a thumbs up, and that was just like the man conversation of like, go for it. So then we get there, we watch the game that night, and we had a dinner reservation for the next night at STK in Scottsdale. So it was our favorite restaurant. So in my head, I'm like, this is where we have our celebration. So I want to go for a hike with Aly Friday.
Before you continue, though, I just want everyone to know I was very not expecting this.
Okay.
And we joke around about it a lot. So just prefacing this.
So I said, do you want to go for a hike Friday morning? Because this is, in my head, this is how it's going to happen. Like,
Yeah,
I can't have
Friday
this
morning on
ring
the hike.
sitting in my backpack. Like, I got to do this. So we
Yeah.
can celebrate Friday night. Aly, would you love to go for a hike in the morning? I'm sleeping in. I ain't going on no hike. Oh, okay.
Well,
No, I got to finish. There's no defense.
also in my defense, they play hockey really late there. So my brother's game didn't finish
It's like
until midnight.
They started
on
at like
Thursday.
7 p.m. It's like so late.
No, they started it was at 8:30.
Anyways, okay. Timing doesn't matter.
So it's done at like 11.
I'm sleeping in, and I ain't going on no hike. It's supposed to be 40 that day, and it was. It was really hot when we were there. It's 39 every day, 38.
boy.
I'm like, okay. So there goes that plan.
Shit,
So-
so what'd you do instead? You're
Well-
like, come on, let's go on this hike.
Well, I was
you don't
like,
want to be too thorough because you don't be like set off
too
the
obvious,
alarm
right?
bells.
So I was like, well, I haven't brought my hike yet. No, I said, we've come down here 3 times this year. It was our 3rd trip this year to Phoenix. And I was like, we've never went hiking yet. And I even brought my shoes. Crickets. So whatever. So I'm like, okay, well, this plan's gone. So we get up in the morning. We have a pool day.
We had hockey again.
Yeah, but not till the afternoon. So we have a bit of a pool day. And during that pool day, she makes a couple funny comments about like, I'm 30 and I'm unwed and all this. Meanwhile, me and her dad are like locking eyes and like giggling. But he still doesn't know when I'm going to do this or how. So he's just left wondering.
Yeah. And nobody else knows.
Nobody else knows. So Friday, Ryan had an afternoon game at 4:30. So we go to the hockey game. Then we have our dinner reservation at STK. So everyone gets dressed up nice. We shower up. We go to dinner at STK.
Were you thinking about doing it at dinner?
Yes. So I walk.
You were?
Yes. Because then
Oh,
I'm like,
no
okay, well, I'll
way.
do it at dinner. Or I'll do it. That's a beautiful area down there where the restaurant is on the canal. So I go into my backpack. I pop open the box and I look at the ring and I go, she always said she didn't want it in a public setting.
Oh.
So I close it, stick it back in my backpack, and we go for dinner. So no ring in my possession. We're standing outside STK waiting for our host to take us to our table. And Aly, smart ass, because we always joke about this. She's like, "You got a ring in your pocket?" And I'm like, "What?" She literally made me pull my pockets out and like, "I don't want any funny business." And everyone's laughing and joking, like thinking she's just playing around. And meanwhile, Glenn's looking at me and he's probably thinking, I hope it's not in his pocket. She would have totally ruined it. Like pulled like the inside of my pocket out.
Oh my god.
And then she looked at Glenn and was like, "You got anything?"
I was like, are you in on this? I was so not expecting it that I thought this was hilarious.
No way.
So I'm so thankful that I didn't
Oh
put the
my
ring in my
gosh.
pocket.
Could you imagine? How do you think you would have?
I would have been absolutely crushed if I would have ruined it.
Oh man,
would've
but
been
would you
crushed.
just like, would you just flex the plan and just be like, pull it out and just give it to her right there and be like,
We were
surprise.
literally standing
Surprise.
amongst like 15 other people waiting
On
for
the
a table
steps. Right? Like it'd have been horrible.
Oh jeez.
So meanwhile,
Do you think you could have hit it? Like if she was like doing that, do you think you could have done some like hand?
I would have had to
like,
pull
put it in
some
your
out.
back
Like
pocket?
as I pulled my pocket out,
Pretended,
pretended it wasn't in there, right?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't going to take the box because the box was so big.
It's bulky. It wouldn't
Yeah.
have worked.
So we have dinner that
Jeez.
night. There goes my engagement dinner. So that now
You're
I'm
like shit. Now I
I've,
gotta buy another
I've lost
dinner.
my day, right?
This is
Yeah.
Friday.
This is Friday,
And you're coming home Sunday or Monday?
Monday morning.
Monday morning. So
Oh, jeez,
Saturday,
you got 2 days. You got 2 days
Saturday's football day.
you're on the clock, bud.
Saturday's football day. So
You're going to see Coach Prime.
me and Glenn and Ali's brother go to watch ASU versus Coach Prime, Colorado. We go tailgating with my cousin. Turns into this whole day. Ali's supposed to pick us up
40 degrees.
at the football stadium after. The highways are 6 hours. The highway gets closed. Ali's phone dies and can't find us, and we're walking around Tempe. Whole other story in itself.
Oh no.
So Saturday, any plan of engagement, totally toast.
It's toast.
I'm down to Sunday.
Oh boy.
But I had the plan.
So Sunday morning, we said we should go to Saturday night, we're at the house sitting outside.
Do a hike
I said we should do a hike tomorrow.
And I said,
And I bring it up again because I'm like, hey, I can maybe get another hike. And you said,
because last time we were there, we looked at this hike because it's close by. It's not like a hard hike.
it's not even a hike.
No, it's not even a hike.
It's a
It's a look.
point of interest.
It's a
Yeah.
small. It's a short walk.
It's called like Hole in Rock or whatever. But I was Googling the reviews.
Believe it or not, it's a hole in a rock.
It's literally just a hole in the rock. But I was reading the reviews. We were going to go in the morning. But I was reading the reviews and it said, this is like the most beautiful sunset experience. So then we're like, okay, so then we're like Googling what time the sunset goes down. Like we're not wanting to miss it because this is going to be like our nature thing of the week. So
And in my head, I'm thinking, jackpot. This is it.
yeah.
So then I said, well, after we do the sunset hike, let's book something to do. So we booked Top Golf
yeah.
at 7:15.
None of us had done. None of us had done that but Dustin. So we're like, yeah, that'll be so fun. A little group activity.
So then, so now all day I'm like, this is how it's going to be. So I threw the ring in my back pocket. I tucked it in
Just in
my back.
case.
I was wearing Lululemons that had a button up
Luckily,
pocket. So I
hopefully
buttoned
a
it up
zipper. How many times did you check on it?
a lot. Well, I was sitting on it in the car. I
Oh.
could feel it poking into me.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, I don't want to wreck this thing. So
Did you see it in his pocket?
No.
No.
So then we start hiking. We go for this little walk, and so now we're at a bit of a fork in the trail. So if you go, so when we pull up to this hole in the rock, there's probably 100 or 200 people in the hole waiting for the
geez.
sun to set, and I'm
Oh,
like,
geez.
oh no, this isn't good. There's so many people. Like we're trying to find a place to park.
Uh-oh.
So we come walking up the trail, and there's a
And it's
fork.
almost sunset. He's on
Yeah.
the clock.
I'm on the clock.
Sun's going down.
I got 10 minutes.
Uh-oh.
On the left is all these people in the hole, but on the right there was this like little.
Flat spot.
Well, no, it was a bit of a hill, and it had like a really cool rock formation on the top and a big cactus. And I'm like, guys, we should just go to our own spot, not go where all the people are, and get some pictures of the sunset. And everybody's like, yeah, great idea.
Everybody, and by everybody, so it was my mom and my stepdad and my brother and Dustin and I.
Yeah. So we go heading up that rock, and the sun's starting to set. And so now I know, like, this is
This is it.
this is it.
This is it. It's happening.
So
And your knees weak. Your arms are.
arms are heavy,
Yeah.
vomit.
Mom's
my-
spaghetti.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm nervous. My
You
palms are
shaking?
sweaty.
You shaking?
On the surface, I looked calm and ready.
We were taking.
So we got Ali's brother. The ring's in my back pocket. Everyone's doing pictures, right? Her parents and then we got 2 pictures together, and then we were standing there and said, "Hey, Ryan, can you get a couple pictures with my phone?" And this was just when the sun was about to set, and so he took 2 pictures of us. And as he was taking a picture, I reached in my pocket and put the ring in my hand and closed my fist. And then Ryan put the camera down. He's like, "Okay, got him." And then Aly kind of walked to the side, and then I said, "Hey, Ryan, can you get one more picture?" And he kind of looked at me, and I winked at him.
I wasn't looking at them. I had my back.
And he said at that moment, when I winked at him and said, "Can you get one more?" He's like, "I knew you were going to do something." So he started videoing it. So he videoed the whole thing. He said, he's like, "I just knew you were going to do it." And Glenn knew, but of course Michelle didn't. So yeah, I got down on one knee, and Aly pulled away instantly. We might be able to... We might have to put some audio because you can hear her being like, "No." I'm
Can
not.
can we share the video as like part of the show?
Yeah, we'll share it. We'll share it.
We're gonna share it tomorrow anyways.
And I was like, "Come here."
Save
And
it for Wednesday.
so I was like, "Ryan, get a picture." Even though he was already videoing, I don't know why I said that. And I'm like, and she's like pulling away, but I didn't have the ring box to be like,
yeah.
look. And she's like, I'm not doing this.
I was like, I'm not doing. In the video, I look really miserable, but I just thought he was making a joke, and so I pushed him away.
And I have done fake proposals before.
So this wasn't like he's never got on one knee, so this was
He
different.
definitely
But
cried wolf.
I was like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm like, is it a leaf? It's a leaf. And then my mom, who is standing right next to my brother, so you can hear her really clear, and she's like, is it a twig? Is it a twig? And she could hear her commentary is the best part of the video. And then Dustin literally pulls me in, like pulls me closer. Well, he first makes the motion like, come here, like a dog, because I'm like not having it. And he pulls me in.
I was already in position on one knee, so I wasn't mobile at that point.
Yeah.
So he pulls me in, and then I put my left hand behind my back, froze, could not move. And I don't even remember what you said. I don't even remember what happened. Went into shock. And he like grabs my hand from behind my back, pulls it forward, and then puts the ring on. And then I started like hyperventilating, and then.
But I did drop a good line because a few weeks ago we booked it. A few months ago we booked a trip to Vegas to watch
January.
In January to watch Ryan play hockey there.
Yeah,
and her parents
UNLV.
are going. My parents are going. My uncle from Bermuda is going. We got a whole family crew going.
Okay, the whole crew.
And so it came up about maybe that'd be the perfect place for Dustin to propose to Aly. So one day she said, "What are the chances you propose to me in Vegas?" And I said, 80%. But then, but our ongoing joke for the past few months is whenever she would do something nice to me, like she'd bring me some food to the couch, and I'd be like, "Ooh, 90%."
Yeah.
Or if she would if we'd have a bit of a spat and she'd say something to annoy me, I'd be like 45%. So when I grabbed her hand and put the ring on and she came in, I said 100%.
And then I started crying. But then the funny thing is when it happened, my parents were far enough away that they weren't like in it. But when it happened, my mom goes like, "Oh my God, it's not a twig." And then
It's real.
it's real.
But it was perfect because then her mom, like as I was down on one knee doing it, her mom took a picture from up on the rock. And it was like this beautiful sunset picture. Looks like it came out of a magazine. And then we went to Top Golf. And they had like these big signs that say "She said yes." They brought out
That is random.
at a Top Golf, and we're like, is there a lot of engagements
People
here?
get engaged a bunch of Top Golf.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So we Top Golfed, and they brought us a big free cookie and ice cream for our engagement, and that's I got it done just in the nick of time before we flew out Monday,
I guess.
and that's the rest of the story.
That's how it all went down.
And now you know the rest of the story. Good day.
I remember that I thought that Paul Harvey and Paul Martin were the same person.
Oh, geez.
And when Paul Harvey died, I said, who's going to run the country?
Oh, boy. It's not bad.
Okay,
Moving on.
moving on. But so that's the story.
It was good. It was the perfect proposal, perfect everything. Couldn't have been happier. And then I spent all of Monday. We checked out of our Airbnb and went and hung out at my brother's, which he has a pool and he's doing great down there. And I just sat around and said, "I'm a fiance" all day. And even my stepdad, because he's such a good sport, he'd be like, "How's the fiance today?" And he even was calling me this week and be like, "How's the fiance?" And I'm like, "My family's great."
Well, it was funny afterwards. Glenn even was like, after I did it, he's like, "Glad you got it done," because I was even starting to wonder, like,
Yeah.
is that ring coming back home on the plane?
Yeah,
or
jeez.
what?
Could you
So
imagine?
Done it right after we got through security at the airport. What is it looking like?
so there's our story,
That's the
Ted,
story.
in a podcast form.
That's the story.
And now the next chapter is in writing right now. Here we go.
Yeah.
Start planning.
When's the wedding?
Start planning a shindig.
Just planning the dual wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wedding plans as of this year.
I heard it's going to be 2025.
It is going to be 2025.
I told Storm 2024 quite a while ago, and I don't know if that's
Now
gonna even happen.
2024 is coming.
It's already
man.
happening. I'm like, I don't know if I can get that done yet.
Books up so quick.
But
not Barney's.
That's right. Not Barney's or Ted's backyard.
or my backyard.
Ted's backyard's got some open dates.
The dual ceremony in the backyard might be a little tricky
Yeah.
on space restraints.
But yeah, so thanks for giving us this platform to fall in love and now tell our story, Ted.
I'm amazed that it.
Thank you.
I'm happy that it worked out.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool that you guys met on a show that we were doing for fun.
Yeah.
It's just it's just cool.
And it
I'm glad to
created
get my friends together
Created a marriage.
for shenanigans. Oh, not yet.
Oh, we're not
Soon.
married yet.
Yeah.
Fiance.
Fiance. Do you just want to be fiance forever? Like, do you
I'm
just
okay
like
with it
that?
for a couple of years.
You like that for a while? Hey, that's good, Dustin. Write that down. You might need to get that in writing.
Yeah.
Dustin wants to elope when we go in January to Vegas. I said
be
that's
easy.
not enough time to get a
be a
dress
fiancé?
or a marriage certificate.
You don't need a
probably.
dress in Vegas. We need a dress
good
for
point.
it.
Nude might be
Put the-
inappropriate.
Put the money on. Just bet it on black.
Yeah. Yeah, if anyone's thinking about getting us a toaster, just send me the cash before January
Gamble it.
19th on e-transfer, please. Yeah, so that's our story.
Okay, but going back a little bit though, Aly, like if you guys, we don't have to go too far into this though, but like, the whole deal where Dustin was down here and you're in drum, there's like a little bit of like, were you thinking like, oh fuck, this is going the wrong way right now? Like,
Well-
was there that concern a bit? Like, I don't know if like we don't have to get into it too much, but
Oh
like,
no,
do
no,
what you-
it
say
was
what you want.
it was more like I mean, there's no concern over the trajectory of our relationship. It was more just concern over there's a lot of changes all at once,
I guess,
and then Dustin busy with his new job and me busy with my business. It's hard to get away, but we've always been really good at making time for each other, and I think that we had kind of come to the conclusion on some plans and ideas and ways we would make it work, and then doing this was just like the icing on the cake. What?
And it also helped that I won that quad.
Oh yeah, in Strathmore.
The quad did. Well,
Did I tell that story on the pod?
I don't know if you.
I should
did.
tell that story quick. 'Cause it's a
Yeah,
good
you
story.
better say.
So shout out to the
sorry.
Strathmore Egg Society.
Go back. What do you got, Aly?
I was just going to say that I set up, Pearl and Heart was set up at the Strathmore Trade Show first time. And then on the Monday, Dustin was like, I'm going to come there on my way back to Calgary and I'll help you.
From Medicine Hat.
No, he was just at
you're
at
in
like
Bruce.
Barney's and stuff.
Yeah.
He was off that weekend.
Oh, you're done.
Barney's weekend.
Barney's weekend.
Okay.
So then I was like, oh yeah, that'd be great. So,
Help you tear down.
anywho.
So thank you to Strathmore Egg Society if anyone's listening from
Yeah,
the Egg Society.
Because you put your name in on this quad.
So Ally's booth is
a
right
draw.
beside the quad raffle booth.
Yeah.
So I'm standing there, and it's the final day of the quad raffle.
Yeah.
And I walked over to the gentleman that was running it, and I said, "Can I get a ticket on the quad raffle?" I said, "I'll get 2." He said, "Sure thing." So he gave
And
me
it's
my
like $100 a ticket. Like it's not cheap.
yeah. So I buy these tickets. Actually, it was $20 a ticket. So I was
Okay.
in for $40.
Okay.
So I buy these 2 tickets, and I walk back over to the booth. Ally's standing there. I said, I'm going to win a quad today." She said, "What?" I said, "That quad right there," because it was sitting right out in front of Ally's booth.
Yeah.
I said, "I just bought 2 tickets. I'm going to win it." And she said, "You don't need a quad. You've already got one." I said, "Yeah, but there's also a cash option." She says, "Yeah, well, if you get the cash, you're buying me a ring.
No, I said, you better buy me a ring.
You better
Same
buy
dif-
me a ring."
same difference.
Same thing. So 3 hours go by, and we're starting to tear the booth down. And then their Strathmore Egg Society staff comes
Committee,
over.
yeah.
They've got the big barrel with all the names in it, and
Yeah.
they're drawing. I think they were videoing it, whatever. And we're kind of packing up, and I can see them drawing, and I can kind of hear them. And I can, they're drawing, and he goes, "And the winner of the quad, Dustin Edwards." And I look over at Aly, I'm like, "I won.
You're like, I told you.
I told you." So I walk over, and I'm like, "Do you guys say Dustin Edwards?" He's like, "Yeah, that's me." And he goes, "Congratulations." So they finished. There was a second prize they draw. And I go back over, and the guy says, "So do you want the quad or you want the cash?" And I said, "Well," I said, "my girlfriend told me that if I won that I had to buy her a ring, so I better take the cash." So and so he kind of giggled, and then he said something about, "We better come back and do this raffle next year so you can pay for the wedding." So I'll be back to buy a whole booklet of tickets in
Oh,
2024.
So how much you win? Was it like it was like quite a bit?
$12,000.
12,000.
But it was funny because then I was getting texts from you guys because
because we heard you
you
won.
guys had to announce it.
Yeah, they announced. Yeah, it was Brett and
Brett
Tim
and Tim Ellis, and then I
yeah.
seen Tim, and he's like, "I cannot believe that you won that."
freaking
So
won the quad.
yeah, so we were packing up, and I could hear it over the loudspeakers, like that you guys announced my name, and I texted the group, and you looked over at Brett, and you're like, "Yep, yeah, it's our Dustin Edwards that won it." So So it was good. So, not that was the reason, but
But it might have been. I mean, it's helpful.
helpful to fund the ring. So Strathmore Egg Society, thank you for enabling this this whole thing.
It's all connected, man.
Where you were doing the sound,
I was there.
Aly was there doing the pearl.
Yep.
It's just everything just worked out.
Oh man.
So
Well, I'm happy for you guys.
thanks, Ted.
This is awesome.
It's turned into a whole nother episode.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk?
No, that was great. It was great. I still feel like I'm in the haze of it. It was exciting.
Do you feel like you're on cloud 9?
Yeah, cloud 10 even.
And Preston, if you're listening, the love is
Officially
still in the air.
Yeah.
It's still here.
And Ally's
Still
got
here.
Ally's got a full quad on her finger.
I didn't get a quad, but Aly got a ring.
That's more important. We already have a quad.
Yeah.
I didn't spend all the money on the ring. People don't crazy. Yeah. Yeah. It paid for the ring in this year's hay.
There you
People
go.
be stealing.
And let me tell you what, the hay was more.
The hay was expensive.
Oh boy.
Well, Dustin would joke with me after we bought the hay, which he would have known that he was doing this ring thing too. And he'd be like, you get to choose hay or a ring. And I'm like, well, I obviously got to pick the hay because if my horses are dead by the end of the year, I'll be pretty upset.
Yeah, I need to get
And so I'm like,
some
okay,
hay.
yeah, the hay.
So I kept throwing out these
Yeah.
get her off the
I
scent.
had no idea. I thought maybe in Vegas in January.
Oh wow.
So we'd like to thank Cowboy Ship Podcast.
Yep.
We'd like to thank Strathmore Egg Society.
Yep.
We'd like to thank
Proud
Top Golf.
proud sponsors of these of this engagement.
Top Golf.
Ryan Quast for his videography.
Yeah. Casey Martin, friend of the show, for ring design.
Yeah. Wife of the show editor.
Yep.
Sean Morton.
The first host on that show, Keenan Vine.
Yep. Wasey
Preston.
Anderson for not finding love that day.
Wasey Anderson for
Because
not
he could have had a chance. Like, no offense to Wasey, but like he was an available bachelor.
It's true. But he was after Abby.
Yeah.
True. But you could have swooped in there and like stole him out of there. But you chose not to. You chose to steal this guy instead.
Yeah.
I don't know. The biggest thank you goes to Ted. Ted, I don't want to pump your tires too much, but
I'm just the instigator of the show.
hey, it was a crucial part of this whole scenario. So we thank you.
Or what am I so far? 1 for like 75 on the Bachelor.
Yeah.
Most.
Hey, there's a 1.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for doing this, guys. Thanks for sharing the story.
Thanks, Ted. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you, Ted.
Love you guys. Bye.
Everybody's checking out the glossy magazine. Madonna, Diana, you know the whole scene. The cover girls, the centerfolds, and every movie star. And all those pretty ladies down there at the local bar. I couldn't think of nothing better to do than checking out a little wiggle or two. Oh, but honey, that was way before I met you. And then you walked with legs up to your neck. You walked. I'm a physical wreck. You walked. I've lost my cool, babe, but what the heck? When you walk in, baby, love begins. When you walk by, baby, ooh, my.
Okay, well, thanks again, Dustin and Aly. Thank you guys for sharing your story on the show. But our usual format we kind of talked about. We were talking about doing like a top and bottom of the show, but I think that's hopefully you all enjoyed the top of the show and enjoyed hearing the story. I'm sure everybody did, knowing that this goes back to the like the origins of the relationship. But we got some stuff going on in the rodeo world right now.
Yeah, it's been CFR is approaching.
Yeah. Canadian Finals Rodeo, November 1st to 5th.
That's
in
right.
Red Deer.
Yeah. So fire up Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Wrap up championship Sunday.
Yeah, 2 perfs on Saturday.
Yep. Kicks off Night of Champions on the Tuesday, which is Halloween night.
Oh, that's right. Are you going to
Sweet.
dress up fancy for that one?
Yeah, me and Dave are going to be back hosting.
Yeah.
Night of
Well, you guys
Champions.
have hosted that quite a while, right?
Yeah,
quite a few
we've
times,
hosted
right?
last 2, at least this will be year 3, I think now. So
Okay.
it was always a fun event. So that's the back number ceremony.
Yeah.
And we present back numbers, season leader awards, the contract awards there. They do a really nice job of it. And looking forward to
It's good. It's one of those
kickstarting
things that's like good if you're a contestant or family of a contestant. but I just like to go and visit people. Like, I don't really like. No offense to you guys in the program, but like,
We're white noise.
oh yeah, the program is like
Yeah.
not that interesting.
Yeah,
for like
it's
public. It's something they should.
it's like
sell
a
to the
roll
public
call.
in some,
Yeah,
but it's like, yeah, they could probably do it a little differently.
it's for the contestants. It's for that pride to walk up and get your back number,
Yeah,
and which is a cool moment.
have a nice meal. with your
And
family.
the awards are nice. Some people have won some of the
But-
awards so many times it's the same speeches, so it gets
do you
a
think,
little.
Do you think they really need to like bring everybody up on the stage like that? Like,
You know, if me personally, especially
maybe
on
it's
some
the rookies.
on some of those awards, yeah, some people have done it so many times that
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. But I think first timers, it's important. Some of those awards, like I remember last year, Ricky Ticky won
That was cool.
Entertainer of the Year,
Yeah, that was cool.
and he walked up, and the first thing he said was, and I'm not going to have these numbers right, but he goes, 47 steps. 47 steps to get on this stage to accept this buckle, but it took me 47 years to get here, whatever it was.
Yeah,
So there was like those really cool moments like that are pretty special.
yeah. I think
Um,
Ricky got like a full like standing ovation.
Yeah, he
that
did.
night. Like that was
He
pretty
did.
cool.
And then he wins it again this year. So.
Yeah, and like last year, just like inside baseball, like last year, I think there was some shenanigans, or there might have been some shenanigans in the CPA office with somebody who is no longer there, that gave Dennis Halstead a fine at the 9th hour that he couldn't pay in time, so he was not on the ballot. But this year, as far as I know, I think Dennis was on the ballot.
Yeah. There was
So-
4 names on the ballot or 5.
Yeah. So like maybe last year, like no offense to Ricky, but like maybe there was some stuff went on. I don't know. Like I don't want to take away anything from Rick, but like this year, there's no doubt like
He won it
He won it
fair and
outright.
square. So.
Yeah.
So those are those kind of cool moments. And like you say, the rookies that get up there the first time. There's those people
That's
that
cool.
got in
And the
last
kids,
rodeo.
like the like
steer
novice
riders and
yeah, that's cool.
yeah, that stuff's cool.
Breakaway ropers for the first time, but like they're introducing 120 people.
Oh yeah.
You guys are, not they. Like you
I
and- you and
I
Dave
honestly
are.
think, and I might not be kidding, I think there's like 60 or 70 pages of notes script
my
we have for
God.
that night.
Oh my god.
And you're introducing every sponsor coming up, every single person that wins an award's giving a speech.
Jeez.
So it's a big night.
It's too much. It's like a 4-hour program.
big night.
It's way too long.
But-
I like, what did I do? I think I set it along for the first little bit, and then I just go to the bar and just visit with people. But this year, like, I kind of want to go, but I also kind of like don't care to go. I'm on the fence.
On the
I'm
fence
like, why?
about it?
Like, do I need to go to this?
Yeah. Like I said, I think
I
it's
don't know.
more for the contestants and their families.
Yeah.
Is what it is. It's not a spectator.
Yeah. it's not
sport,
that kind of thing. That's
you know,
fair.
You can only do so much with the production of it. You still got to name every person and then walk up and get their number. So
Unless you change the format.
yeah.
Anyways, I don't know. What are you gonna do that night, Allie? You
She'll
don't have
be
a mic,
there.
you don't have a mic close. You're gonna hang out. You're gonna hang out with Dave and Barb and everybody.
I'm gonna go, and I'm of the position that I think it's really nice, and I know it's long, but those contestants, that's important.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well,
And everyone gets their CFR jackets that night.
and the
too.
back numbers
The
and all
back
that.
number.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish
Yeah.
we did it more like how the NFR does it, but I mean,
Well, they probably do it identical. It's probably the same.
It's pretty similar, yeah.
Yeah.
similar. I guess
Yeah.
the stage just feels grander, maybe.
Yeah.
Because it's NFR.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So we'll kick off CFR that way.
That's true. And
Ali will be setting up the trade show that day.
Yeah.
Trade show setup is on Tuesday, the 31st. So I'll
Yeah.
do that and then head to the
Night of
back number
Champions.
night. But I have to commend the ladies that are in charge of the trade show this year. It's been different every year I've been there, but they're doing a really great thing this year and giving us all unloading times. So that's going to be really great because the last couple of years it's just been kind of
It's like mayhem, isn't it?
yeah, it's just like everyone's like fighting to get the spot. So really looking forward to that. And my mom's coming to help me this year, so that'll be good. And
She's taking a little break from Arizona.
yeah, you know, she decided she's booked a trip to Chicago shortly after. So
Okay.
yeah, but yeah, trade show's gonna be great this year. I think. Come to my
Yeah.
booth. Come to my booth.
So Allie's booth is going to be right by the stage where we're going to have the daily hot stoves at 3:30 p.m.
It's true.
And I think we're going to have one at 11 a.m. on Sunday, if I remember the schedule right off the top of my head. But then Dustin and you and I get to do the buckle presentations together.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun this year, too.
Yeah. So it's like the perfect day at the CFR. You can go shopping at Pearl and Hart,
Yep.
listen to the hot stove,
Yep.
go to the rodeo performance,
Yep.
and then it sounds like we'll be working the buckle presentations
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
So that is going to be a
fun
ton of fun.
The
Give me
first time you and I have ever worked on the microphone together for someone else other than the podcast.
Yeah, we have
kinda
announced
excited.
an event together.
Oh yeah, that I try to
Brooks-
erase that from my
The
mind.
Brooks
I did
PBR.
not do a very good job.
And I have to admit, Ted phoned me and said, "Hey, do you want to co-announce with me?" I was the second man at that
You
show.
were not. I just knew that Slim asked me to do it on my own, and I was like, not a chance. Like, I cannot do that by myself.
But
I appreciate you asking me, Slim, but like, I'm already not sure of my abilities. Like, can I please bring Dustin to bail my ass out? Because
we had
I'm
fun
do
though.
A bad job. It was fun.
Yeah.
Didn't we get stuck in the snowstorm?
Yeah, huge
that night?
snowstorm hit.
Yeah.
Highway was shut down, and we like.
Did we
all
get
of
a
us-
room with three beds in it?
Yeah, and we all piled into
But
this
Covey
hotel
slept
room.
in his car on
Yeah,
the road.
Kobe slept in his car on the highway. The rest of us slept in the hotel. So.
Yeah. But I
But,
did not announce very good. I've not been asked to announce again, actually. In fact.
One and done. But the buckles, yeah, we're gonna have a blast with that, man. That's gonna be.
That's more my pace. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not really like a bull riding announcer.
like
I'm more
this.
of like a.
It's like
I'm more of a talker, not an announcer.
yeah. So we're gonna have some fun with that, and me and Dave are gonna be on the Cowboy Channel doing the broadcast. That hasn't been announced yet. I guess it just was.
You heard it here first, folks. We got engagement announcements and CFR announcements.
I don't know if I was supposed to say that, but I just did.
So
We're gonna be doing the Cowboy Channel, working alongside Katie Lucas.
Oh yeah.
So she's going to be part of it. She's doing a really good series right now, Road to the CFR on the Cowboy Channel.
Did they just steal names from everywhere else from before?
I think so.
Yeah.
Hey, go.
They
with it.
stole
Go
the
with what
Cowboy
works.
Country, Canadian Cowboy Country logo.
Yeah,
Hopefully, I don't know if they stole that or paid it from somebody, but that's legit, like the Canadian Cowboy Country logo, isn't it?
yeah, pretty close.
Cowboy Channel. Now they got Road to the CFR, which was literally a program that they did like.
Yeah,
10
years ago.
years ago.
Yeah. So,
Anyways,
yeah, we're
that's
coming
cool.
back.
I'm glad you're on the
Yeah.
broadcast.
Yeah,
'Cause
so
that's
me and
like
Dave-
how many years have you done that now?
Oh man,
You've done it quite a few.
I want to say this is number 7,
Really?
but I had a year off. The first year I went to the Dragons, CFR was over top of
Something important.
something important with the Dragons, so I had to not do it. But so I've missed one.
Who did it instead of you? Was Tim the other guy? Tim Edge?
Yeah, I think I want to say Tim and Doug.
No, Dave was still there, wasn't
No,
he?
Dave was the in-arena announcer.
Oh
Brett.
yeah, that's right.
So,
That's right.
so Tim was in there, but me and Dave first did it back in the Pro
Just
Rodeo
after
TV
sports?
days.
Yeah, just after Sportsnet.
Yeah, there was Pro Rodeo TV. There was iLink Media pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I think it was Dean Langell. He
Mm-hmm.
was the Cowboy Country producer. We did it for them. Yeah, and then the PRCA brought the outfit from Texas up in Northlands.
That one made a lot of sense when it was a Pro Rodeo TV thing for the CFR that wasn't even a fucking PRCA rodeo.
Actually, that was the last year in Edmonton. Was the last year we did that
2017
one.
then, right? Or 2018?
Yeah. So my first ever year doing it with Dave was 2014.
Okay.
So, and then missed a year in there, had a COVID year. But yeah, so I think this is number 7.
Okay.
And me and Dave we love working it together. We have a lot of fun. And
Oh yeah.
And yeah, looking forward to being back in the PB Mart Centrium. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Be a good one. Well then, yeah. So we got the buckles. You got the broadcast. So you're gonna have a busy week there.
Yeah, Night of Champions.
But I guess you're like gonna be kind of like back to back. It won't be too crazy. You're gonna get a little break after the rodeo.
Yeah, we'll make our way
things
over
will be
and
done. And we got there's a whole set with the band for the buckles. So there's a little bit of a break there.
yeah, and yeah. So CFR gonna be a great week. The contestant lineup came out this week.
Oh yeah, and
There's some omissions.
There's some omissions. Yeah. So tell us the story there, Dustin.
Well, this is all rodeo gossip, but I had seen in
Well,
there.
so wait. So yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
I'd seen in there that Dawson Hay wasn't listed and Ross Griffin was in, and I was like, well, doesn't make sense. Then I went on the Rodeo Canada standings, and Dawson Hay's rodeo count was down to 14, and I thought it was 16 or 15 prior to that.
Yeah.
So apparently Drayton Valley Rodeo was postponed, the fires. Then
Yeah.
they had a bareback
Or rough stock.
bull riding event. I don't think there was saddle bronc,
Oh really?
but I don't know if there was supposed to be a count there. They thought that Drayton still counted,
Oh really? For the count.
but it didn't.
Oh geez.
Is the word on the street now? This could be totally
Really?
wrong information, and we may have to omit it if it is completely wrong. Either way, Dawson Hay, who won like 26,000 this year,
Yeah.
and
Should have made it.
should have made it to CFR, is not there,
Yeah.
and he's out. And
Jeez.
Logan won his way in out of Edmonton.
Not the
So-
last one. Yeah.
So pretty crazy stuff there. And then Ty Harris got stuck at 14 rodeos because he was at that Governor's Cup. Didn't come to Edmonton.
Yeah. Couldn't make it.
Didn't get in, but
Jeez.
Cooper Esch got in. So yeah, there's some really
Good for Cooper.
So there's a couple interesting storylines. I think Cody Cassidy got in because Tanner Myland is not going to go.
He got hurt.
He's
yeah.
hurt.
Yeah.
So there's a couple. That's why we were always waiting to see the official list. So
Yeah.
there it came out, and there was some of the storylines that came from that.
Huh.
No Dawson Hay, no Tanner Myland, and yeah. So that is the potential insight on the CFR roster.
It's all like stuff we're hearing. We don't know what's official yet or
It's
not.
It's not gospel if you heard on here, unless
We're
we say it is.
speculating.
Yeah.
We're speculating.
And we're no different than sports talk radio.
Yeah.
We speculate over athletes and
You never
what's
know.
up. So why
You
can't we
never
do
know.
it in rodeo?
There's like, yeah.
We're all
because
too scared to talk about stuff sometimes.
We can't talk about it because people get fucking bitchy about it.
That's true.
And they're like, oh, I heard him say this. And then I can't hire him because of this. And I can't hire them because of that. And this guy's an asshole because he talks too much.
Ouch.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
we need to be able to talk about shit.
We do. We need to be able to
So-
event.
And we can speculate.
And we're speculating that's
Yeah.
what happened.
We need to be able to talk about logos if we want to and not get fired from our jobs.
Oh, this is really going back a few years.
Anyways.
You were just in Medicine Hat.
Yeah.
PBR.
Cup Series event.
It's back.
There's like 2 left. We got Saskatoon next weekend. The PBR the Team Series Finals is this weekend in Vegas. Then we got a CFR. Then a weekend off. Then we're in Edmonton for the finals at Rogers Place.
100
So
grand.
the Oilers are 0-2. Hopefully they get some wins and some goaltending before we get there. Might be a little weird.
I really hope they pull a prank. Do you remember the 100 grand prank on the radio years ago?
No.
This radio station advertised they were going to give away 100 grand. They did like the 100th or the 1,000th caller or some like crazy radio contest.
Yeah.
This guy phones in and he's caller whatever.
Yeah, 1,000.
And they said, what are you going to do with the 100
100,000.
grand? And he says, I'm going to buy a new truck. Like he's screaming on the phone. And there's a 100 grand chocolate bar.
No.
We saw them at Barney's. They're called 100 grand.
Oh, no.
They gave away a candy bar.
Oh, no.
So
That sucks. This is not.
this is a real check. This is real
This is
money.
real
It's a big
$100,000.
check. You can take it to a big bank.
Yeah, exactly. Happy Gilmore stuff.
And then we got the Maple Leaf Circuit Finals after that.
Yeah.
Well, we don't. None of us do.
None of us Canadians get to
No
work it.
Canadian music directors at the Maple Leaf Circuit Finals.
No. They're going to hire an American announcer to do that job.
Yeah.
So congrats to whoever made that call.
Yeah. I might apply for the CFR music job.
Oh, really?
Well, I'm an announcer.
Yeah. So you might as well, right?
I might apply for the NFR music job or like a circuit finals down there music job.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Makes sense,
Sorry.
right? I don't know, man. I'm a proponent of hiring Canadians, and I like to spend our money in Canada when possible. And
Yeah.
I was actually at a couple like clothing stores today, and I was looking at a couple things, and I'm like, oh, where is this made? Where is this made? Where is that made? And we can vote with where we spend our money, right? Whether
Yep.
it's like buying milk at the grocery store, if it's buying, buying your steaks from Alberta, or you're buying your oil from Canada, like.
That check is a substantial check. If you're working in rodeo, if you're working at a finals, that money stays where the person who gets it lives.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, and at times I think the best person for the job should do the job, but I don't think that's the case lately with some of these roles we're filling up in Canada.
My weekend's open.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
available.
Hey, the last rodeo of the year, every Canadian announcer is sitting at home and there's an American calling
That
it.
too.
But I just think that's too bad for someone that's never worked a CPRA rodeo is going to do actually, no, he did work a rodeo. He announced it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. But meanwhile, I'm a CPRA. I don't even have a card.
You're not a card. No,
I don't have a card, but I've
No.
done more CPRA rodeos than
Yeah.
a lot of people as
Yeah.
a music person.
So actually, in fact, every music director in professional rodeo in Canada will be at home that weekend.
Probably.
And an
yeah.
American announcer will be doing the music
At
at
the
the
Canadian
Maple
Rodeo.
Leaf Circuit Finals.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, eh?
It's not cool.
Oh boy. Anyways, I probably gotta
digress.
write I think that's one of my things I gotta do tomorrow is write a letter about that certain thing. So
Yeah. We have a platform to talk about stuff we're not happy about,
yeah, here we are.
and we're going to talk about
We're
it.
gonna voice our opinion.
Yeah.
Say it's horseshit.
Because I remember during COVID, all those roles were filled by Canadians who were desperately asked to come fill those roles
Yeah.
because
They couldn't get
they
there.
can get the people,
Yeah.
and then that was one and done.
Yeah.
Anyways, I digress.
Yeah. Moving on.
That's a personal.
Moving on.
We didn't name names.
No. So moving on, we got what do we got? We got a few events coming up. Medicine Hat was great. Man, I got a funny story. So last year I had a guy, like an audio tech guy, and like most of those main PBR shows now, like I go there. I usually go to a show if it's a 2-day show. I'll go in like the morning of the first day or the night before the first day. But mostly like most of the year now, it's been show up like morning of the show or late the night before, whatever. Go to the building in the morning, set up at like 9, set up by like 11, kind of like noon, have some lunch, go back to the hotel, have a nap, have a shower, get cleaned up, get back to the building by like production meeting at 4. So get everything set up, ready to go, rolling, and then get things set up. And this time, like I go and I get things set up and we're kind of all set, right? Like do a bunch of tests, go through the audio, see what it sounds like. I'm like, it doesn't quite sound right. But I'm like, okay, well, Dave, like my sound guy, like sound tech's coming in later on. Like he knows the building. He knows what needs to happen. Like we'll get it sorted out when he gets there. And then it doesn't show up. So I'm just like in the water, like, yeah, I'm out to water and like, fuck, like this thing's not fixed, but like, I don't know what to do. And it might just be my ears. Like I'm pretty picky now on like what I want things to sound like. Like it's gotta be nice and like rich and kind of like have a nice warm sound to it. Like I don't want it to be really scratchy or like have too much of the middle end and be like rattly. Like I want it to be there and fill the room and be able to take a moment with the music and you know, have that little bit of punch where the we're on the music side of things. I gotta have that punch, but then I want the announcers to be loud and clear. Like it's kind of a little bit of
it's a balance.
It's a balance, right? So so something was off in the building to my ear, and I just like never really got it right. But luckily, Cole Robertson was there. He had helped me. Like so, his dad's Curtis Robertson at Valley Ridge.
Yep.
So Cole was there just to kind of like hang out. He went to school in Medicine Hat, and he's got his cousin plays for the Tiger, like the Medicine Hat Tigers right now, and so luckily he was there, so he could at least kind of like run some faders because like I have like that position like totally like away from me now, like it's like next to me, but like I don't have another hand to run that mixer when I'm trying to run the rest of the show, right? Like it gets a little tricky to run all the mics and change batteries and change this and that, and like it's not easy, right?
Yeah.
So luckily Cole was there to like bail me out, but like my audio tech guy never showed up, so it made it a little more challenging. I don't know. No
still
clue.
With us?
No clue. Not sure. But just never showed up. Maybe never got the right call. Like I don't know what. Like something happened, but it was a little bit challenging to try and like get that show done without that guy. Because I'm kind of got used to
you
that,
lean on him, yeah.
So, anyways, that was Medicine Hat. But the guys rode great. Jordan Hansen gets the win.
89.5.
Yeah, should have been a 90. Bear, Lightbound. Come on, where's the 90s?
It's inflation.
I know everything else is inflation. But yeah, still a great ride. Like I'm just knocking Bear. He had a lot of work that night. He did like probably 6 or 7 replay challenges. It was a little bit.
I heard
aggressive.
that. Yeah. Replays and a re-ride challenge in the same.
It was bizarre. And then this one fucking guy, like I don't know what the hell he was trying to do, but he like challenged the button. He already got a re-ride, and then he was like trying to challenge to get a score for 8 seconds. And like, dude, you already got a re-ride. Like fucking go take a re-ride. Like get out of here. You're wasting my time right now. So Bear like did a pretty quick replay, and he's like, yeah, no, you missed it by like 3 seconds. Like sorry, dude, but.
Go get on your next pull.
Get your re-ride, which he probably fell off of. But anyways, still a good show. Like guys rode a lot of bulls. Surprisingly, I think Cody Coverchuk had a score and took a re-ride and then got bucked off. So he had like a lower score, but it would have been a score that he would have took that would have got him some points, right? So he was only 10 points behind Dakota Butter, but Butter got injured. And then Nick Tetz is hurt. Like.
And now Jordan
is he's pretty far back still.
But he made a big jump, right?
Big jump, yeah. Like, and I think
so. Who's in the driver's seat right now?
Honestly,
Cody?
It's kind of like Cody's the only healthy one right now, but he fell out. He got 0 points in Medicine Hat.
So if Dakota Butter has also made the CFR,
Chloe Robbins is right there as well.
Yeah, Dakota Butter has qualified for the CFR.
Probably not going to ride there, as far as I know.
So right now it's showing him at the CFR, so that could bump someone up. Sorry, that's just a side note.
No, true, yeah.
But I mean, if you're deciding now between the 100,000. And what can you win if you
50,000 probably 50 if you 70% at 50,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably gonna there's more people that make more money at the CFR on average.
Yeah.
Because I think it's like a $200,000 purse, or it was at one point.
Yeah. So
I don't know what it is now.
If he's choosing between the two and he's got an extra week off.
He's got
2 weeks off.
Collarbones.
Yeah.
So 2 more weeks. That's true.
So I have a feeling whoever's in 13th will be bumping
probably
into
CFR. Yeah, if they're
Yeah.
not already in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's Cody's to lose right now.
And he's
But it's
won.
going to come down to the finals anyways.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting though.
100%.
It's nice when it's a tight
In
race like that.
Rogers. Yeah, I'm with you. There's
Yeah.
probably like 5 or 6 guys because like it goes Dakota, Cody, Nick Tetz, and then you got Aaron Roy's. No, Corey Robbins is 4th, Aaron Roy's 5th, and now Jordan Hansen's 6th.
Saskatoon is gonna be
It'd be a big
is
one.
gonna be big.
Yeah,
It's gonna
'cause
feel like
Coverchuck's-
it's gonna feel like a mini finals because
yeah,
it's
really,
it's gonna set somebody up.
100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, gonna be an exciting fall, and then we're gonna go down to Vegas. We got lots of new cowboy shit stuff out in the stores right now. A bunch of stuff on the website. We just had a bunch of big orders come in though, so we're kind of out of a lot of stuff. But stay tuned. We've got new stuff coming on the website soon.
Really cool stuff.
Just wait, keep your eye on it when it's in stock. But yeah, that's kind of it right now, Dustin.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, well, we're gonna have some really fun stuff coming out of CFR and
Heck yeah.
gearing up for the final few weeks of PBR, and
PBR Teams Finals this week, like we mentioned.
and then we'll be.
good
I mean, the
news.
NFR is gonna be fun with all the Canadians. That's. I know we talked about that last show, but
Yeah, it's true.
the Canucks are gonna be invading Vegas.
100%.
73-cent Canadian dollar right now. That's gonna be awesome. Good if you're winning U.S.
Good
money.
if you're winning U.S.
Good
money,
time
yeah.
to win the cash.
Not great if you're spending it.
Yeah, so go there and win it. Don't spend it.
True. All right. Well, thanks for joining us again. This has been Cowboy Shit. My name's Ted Stovin. He's Dustin Edwards. Thanks for joining in. Thanks to Aly Price for being on the show. Is Aly going to keep her last name? Is she still going to be Price? Or
I
gonna
think
be
she already
Edwards?
ordered a shirt that says "Future Mrs. Edwards."
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's exciting.
yeah. I just heard her giggle. Can confirm. Shirts ordered.
Sure, it's ordered. The name. Oh, boy. All right.
Coming in a week. All right, there you
Okay.
have it, folks.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody.